Oh, and I've got the wrong overlay, which means that I'm going to have to turn these off. Hang on just a minute, guys. Oh, gosh, I forgot to change my overlay on North America. I changed it on the other servers. I will fix it for the next game. But for now, let's go ahead and introduce our two players. Spawning in the top left-hand side in the blue, representing Canada and Alpha X, it's our Terran player, Masa. And his opponent in the bottom right-hand side in the yellow, his teammate from Alpha X. It is our Zerg player representing France. It is Firefox. The greatest low-budget browser that is not Google Chrome in the world. So good news here for these two players. We got a bit of an Alpha X team kill at the very start of our bracket. Now, a couple quick housekeeping things before we get into the lobby, or into the main game. First and foremost, this is the C stream, C for Creighton. Of course, the A, B, and D streams are all going right now. There should be a squad stream up, I believe. So, but if you have the chance, go to twitch.tv/either ESL_SC2, that's the A stream, ESL_SC2B, that's the B stream where Grant is heading things up, or twitch.tv/ESL, where you're going to have our boy Tempo and his man M. Canning taking on the D stream. So keep an eye on all the other streams, guys. There's going to be a lot of NA action. There are 4 streams. There are 4 matches on each stream, and we're going to crank through about half of the NA group stages today alone. Tomorrow, of course, NA group stages part 2. We see standard openings here from both of our players so far. Masa opening up barracks into factory, and on the other side of the map, we've got a hatch gas pool out for Firefox, who's got his first 4 lings on the map right now. Reaper pops out, and a nice save there. An Evo Chamber save from Firefox. Interesting. Is going to drive away this Reaper, though, and I don't believe that we'll see too much from Masa. Queen's on their way out, and the Queens, of course, will push those Reapers away. Or that Reaper. Eventually, once the Queen's out. Queen is out now, and the Reaper should get chased away. No kills on the Reaper, and no scout either. Take a look at Masa's vision. We'll see he has not seen anything in that main base, aside from 1 gas and 1 spawning pool. Not that there's much else to see, but being driven away this early means he is not going to be able to sneak in and check for a cheeky early Roach Warren, double Evo Chamber, anything like that. Ooh, drone trying to transfer over to the third, does get sniped there. Nice snipe by Masa. And shoot, now if he could just get this creep tumor picked off, he would be in great shape. But the Queen will take down Masa there, and Masa will get chased away. One more reminder, guys, I am on a 2-minute delay today, according to my stream. However, it looks like, from what I can tell, my stream is actually closer to a 4-minute delay for some reason. I'm not sure what that is, but I am on a 4-minute delay here. So for some reason, everything that happens in the stream that I'm watching myself on is 4 minutes behind where I am right now. So if there are any mistakes, any updates, you guys will have to let me know, and I will correct them as soon as I possibly can. We got a 1-1-1 open for Masa here, who's going in to Cloaked Banshee. So Cloaked Banshee coming in up next for Masa. There's no Lair Tech. There's no Spore Crawlers. And there's no Scout yet. For Firefox, this one Overlord sitting outside the natural, not paying attention to anything going on right now. He is just focusing on getting those roaches out as quickly as he possibly can. Of course, the Roach Warren finishing up a few moments ago, and now we have got 7 roaches on their way. And yes, I know the stream title is incorrect. I have no power to fix that right now, guys. The ESL admins are working, I think, mainly on the production of the A stream right now. So I have no power to adjust the title. Apologies, I can't fix the IEM Katowice Lambo versus Hurricane stream title. But that's okay. You guys can look on screen and see, as plain as the nose on my face, who is, in fact, playing roaches. Taking a super tramp. They're going the long way around on the south side of the map. Don't want to get spotted by anything. I love the Banshee coming across, trying to find him, and oh my god, the Banshee from Masa is going to spot Firefox's roaches, and he's going to be a no now. Oh, of course, that's what you're going for. A big roach push. Back home, he should be plenty safe now that he's seen those roaches. The double bunker going down. The CC continuing to be built here. Should be rotating some of his ground army around the bottom side, but the ground army right now very, very low for Masa. He has only got these Hellions and a couple of Marines coming out. He is going to go for bio play. Oh, Ling's flooding in, and here we go. The wall is not finished for Masa. That is a clutch mistake. The Ling's going to get in here, getting on top of these bunkers. The bunkers 1 and 2 should be safe for now, but the Roaches and Ravagers coming in. There is a 2 Banshees out right now, 4 Masa rather, but the Banshees will add their DPS, and I think with the DPS of the Banshees, he may be able to clean this attack up. Only 6 SCVs going down, and that is an incredible hold here from Masa. Bit of a mistake leaving that gap in his wall, but luckily the Banshee's able to pick down everything else. The DPS from that Banshee really paying off for Masa. He's going to move those 2 Banshees across the map right now. Of course, Cloak is finished up. We still don't see any... Oh, there we go. Finally, 3 Spore Crawlers finishing up for Firefox. I just got timed out in chat for trying to link the D stream. Wow. Weird. Weird stuff. Anyway. Banshee's trying to get some damage done, but the Spores, of course, are out. That just means that Masa's going to be relegated to picking around the outside of these bases for a little while. Might get some pot shots off onto the Roach Warren and pick off some transferring drones. Not bad at all. I'm not sure what Firefox's play is behind this, though. He doesn't have a lot of options. He's going to lose this Roach Warren, I think. Yeah, he's going to lose the Roach Warren. That's a rough loss. Last Roach being produced, but there are no more Roaches on the field. Just that one being built out now. Lairtech finishing up soon. He does have a Baneling Nest behind us, so we're going to see Ling Bane out of Firefox. Third base just pecking away, but he's way behind on income, way behind on army supply, and Masa has a very scary Terran army that's ready to push across the map now that his third base has been established. All right. So Firefox returning back home. These Banshees getting kicked back out. 8 more drone kills for the Banshees. And Masa setting up for a big attack. He's got the Armory on the way to make sure his 2-2 is finished up behind this bio play. But as the first medevacs roll out of the first and only starport, Masa's going to load up. He's going for a bit of a bunny push, picking up those 2 tanks and loading in to the medevac. Banshee's clearing the way. Overlord will spot this coming. Marine's going to pick down 1 Overlord here. Firefox need to be prepared for this. He's got Baneling speed on the way, working on 6 Banelings right now, but right now it's just Ling and 1 Roach up against this attack. With some good splitting, Masa should be just fine. I'm a little bit worried right now for Firefox's position. He's on 27 army supply to the 58 of Masa. Masa kiting back here. The Baneling's not going to go down on any good targets. Good target firing from the tanks there. The Bio Army's still mostly alive. One last Baneling does pick off the last tank. Or the first tank, rather. The second tank, though, still alive on the high ground, and reinforcements from Masa coming across, getting ready for this siege onto the 4th base. There's 1 Baneling remaining, but no more Banelings in production. If he focus fires down this Baneling, it's going to be curtains for Firefox. Firefox on no Banelings, on just a few Queens right now, and Masa even keeping some of those units in reserve in the back. I love this. You may be thinking, wait, why is Masa only attacking with 5 Marines right now? Well, the answer, of course, is he doesn't want to be swung around, doesn't want to be caught by surprise Mutalisks, surprise Banelings from the backside. But, of course, that's not the case. Masa simply has way more than Firefox right now, and wave number 3 of his units coming across the map. Third base under duress. If this third base is broken, it could be bad news for Firefox. Good pickups by Masa, saving some of those Marines from the fire. And he is in really, really good shape. More Banes coming in, but some target firing from those tanks. Splash damage already taking out 3 of the Banes. This is looking worse and worse for Firefox as he's forced to evacuate the third base. The third base does fall. 1 Queen down. He's trying to morph in some more Banelings here, but things are getting worse and worse. Sorry, guys, doing some admin stuff on the backside here. Masa's going to be forced to pick up here. Firefox has taken a new third base, the bottom side, and trying to rebuild to a 4th base, but the 4th base already out for Masa here. And yeah, Masa continuing this siege. The siege tank's pushing forward. Firefox still struggling to get anything down on the ground right now. Stuck on Ling Bane. No additional timers. No additional tech out for Firefox. He's just on Ling Bane and up against Marine Tank, and these Banshees even going to do a lot of damage. Drawing some of the Queens into Tank Fire. Tank 1 goes down, Tank 2 goes down. The drop behind the natural, this game all but over right now. And a huge attack coming out now from Masa. +1 on the way for Firefox. He's going to try and counter with some Lings, but the Ling's going to get mowed down. All of them going down, and Firefox knows without that counter punch available, that's going to be it. Game 1 going to be Masa's for the win. So we're on game number 2 now. Masa versus Firefox. Masa up 1-0. Unsurprising, I think Masa probably the favorite here, a much stronger Terran player than his opponent. And map 2 is going to be Ice and Chrome LE. Ice and Chrome for these two players. Yeah, a rough start for Firefox, our French player, who is, there's the end. I was trying to find the corner of my box that I'm stuck in. It looks like I'm fancy, but actually I'm way zoomed in right now. Anyway, a rough start here for Firefox, our French Zerg player, just unable to find any real damage at the beginning of the game, and Masa able to just run him over with some easy bio tank play. So we'll see what happens here in game number 2, if in fact Firefox is able to pull it back, or if Masa is going to take a very easy 2-0 win at the beginning. And oh gosh dang it, I forgot to update my graphics pack again. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. And we should be in. There we go. Alright. So Ice and Chrome here for game number 2. Spawning in the top right-hand side in the blue. Representing Alpha X and Canada. It's our Terran player, Masa. And his opponent in the bottom left-hand side in the yellow. His teammate, representing France. It is Firefox. So Firefox, a bit of an unknown up-and-comer. Firefox, a bit of an up-and-comer, slightly less well-known than Masa. He is going Hatch Gas Pool again, though, so very standard play, and that usually tells a player that there's a lot of respect on both sides. Which means, yeah, a lot of respect on both sides. You know, there's no crazy triple proxy racks. There's no 12 pool. Both these players just doing a very standard opener. Excited to see if Firefox has a chance this game, if he tries to play macro, if he can go toe-to-toe with Masa. Of course, Masa, an incredibly good macro player. And opening with a Reaper Expand, meaning he's going to have a lot of opportunity to get pieces on the board very quickly and put some pressure on Firefox. 4 Lings on the way as our 2 Queens and Zergling Speed. Firefox continuing to mine gas, but it looks like only from 1 drone, I believe. 2 drones, rather. So he's pulled some drones off of gas and isn't going to be going for early roaches this game like he did last game. Of course, it wasn't a roach bust or anything last game. Just got some roaches on the map fairly quickly once the roach horn was down. So, yeah, still nothing, still nothing crazy out of Firefox. Masa's Reaper should be able to get a lot of scouting done. And look at this, Masa, you greedy boy. 2 racks and 3rd command center coming down very quickly for Masa. This is about the greediest play you can absolutely go for. Oh dear, oh dear. This is unscouted as of yet by Firefox. Now he does have an Overlord waiting to see.
Our forces are under attack.
3rd command center. Third command center down. Factory is well behind this, but I think Firefox should be in good shape. If he wants to put some pressure on Masa, he might be able to. Reaper will get cleaned up there. Nice kill. It's the first casualty of the game, I think, after the one ling. Overlord does get in. Spots this third command center. Factory on the high ground. And Masa in good shape. We see the orbital command finishing up, and Masa should get that out very quickly. I do wonder if he's just going to go for like a plus, not even a +1 because there's no engineering bay. I wonder if he's just going to go for a stim push. Oh, fascinating. Fascinating. Okay. Stim with, I was going to say no medevacs, but he does have the starport down now. Maybe grabbing double medevac off that starport, as we do see him building one more reactor on that factory. I imagine that's for the swap over. We're going to get double medevacs out and maybe a tank. Going into a 3-1-1 after this. A lot of Marines out for Masa. Going to push those Lings away. The Lings not finding any damage. But so far, Firefox actually in a good position. He's on 41 drones to the 40 of his opponent. So slightly ahead in the worker count. And the army supply, way higher for Firefox as well, who's got a lot of queens on the board. Making up the bulk of that 26 army supply. He's got 20 Lings coming down. Gonna try and go for, I was gonna say a bit of a bust, but of course there's no Baneling nest right now. It is just spawning pool. Both of these players playing exceptionally greedy here in game number 2. Masa with that very early third base, and of course the double Evo chamber, and fourth base at 5 minutes for Firefox. Wow. He knows he can do it though. He's seen the third orbital command from Masa and knows that he's not gonna be under pressure anytime soon. This is not a Queen song, and this is certainly not a Vanilla Ice song that has been stolen from said Queen song. Double drop from Masa. We saw this coming a mile away, and so does Firefox. His scouting Overlord is going to see these two medevacs pushing across the map. His Overlord in the middle of the map going to double check and make sure they're still on their way, and that should give Firefox plenty of time to rotate down to his fourth base. And I think Masa realizes, yeah, if I'm this scouted, I may as well just try and pick down the Overlord. We'll see the pneumatized Carapace finishing up. Scans going down here for Masa, picking off 2 of the active tumors. Is going to miss the tumors up north, but scams forward again. Stims forward again and picks off one more Overlord. Queens and Lings here fighting off. Creep is going to get surrounded. That'll force an immediate pickup from Masa. Masa not losing a single Marine in that fight and getting a lot of damage done. A couple of Overlords picked down, a couple of Lings picked down, and most importantly, that creep spread has been slowed just a bit. Redropping on the high ground, going to heal back up. Another good stim here. Another active tumor goes down. Sees the fourth base is up. Might get some pot shots off on that fourth base. And another pickup and another get out for Masa. Behind this, Masa has established his third base. Adding on SCVs. He's still on 58 SCVs to the 60 of his opponent. The worker count in favor, unbelievably, of our Terran player, because of course he has those mules to add on some more economic points. Gonna get a couple of these. Oh man, one Baneling shot does go down, takes a couple Marines with it, but the other 3 Banelings target fired down very well. Creep spread from Masa is pernicious though, tenacious. He's pushing this creep out across the map very aggressively. 7 minutes in, he's already halfway across the map. Unfortunately for him, the Marine count from Masa is very, very high. Masa on 1-1. This is exactly the timing he was going for. Tank in the background. Needs to focus fire down the Banelings. The Banelings are going to go down on 1 Marine. The Marine does get picked off, but the Banelings are all going down as well. Tank finally taken down. Marine count still fairly healthy for Masa on 45 army supply to the 38 of Firefox. Firefox coming forward with some more Banelings here. The tanks are out of the picture though. That means no more target firing, no more splash damage on the Banes. It's going to force a pickup from Masa. Masa continuing this pressure, though, redropping on the high ground. This is so well done from Masa. Banelings getting picked down left and right. Only 2 Banelings remaining to pick up the get out. So good here. Masa keeping his pressure on, but Firefox may have broken him. Firefox, losing that Baneling is huge, though. The tank now here to add some splash damage, but the bio count very, very low. Only 12 Marines on the map total. A lot of those coming across right now. Another engagement, and that should force a pickup from Masa. I'm a little surprised he's letting this tank go down. He's going to lose yet another tank this game. That'll be his second tank down this game, and he's still going to keep this pressure on. Wow. He is marching these Marines across one by one, cranking out nothing but Marine and Medevac right now, adding on 3 more barracks, adding on +2/+2 as +1/+1 for Firefox finishes off. Picks off a Queen, should pick up and get out. Now, this is the real problem for Firefox right now. There is no Spire for Firefox. There is no Hydralisk Den for Firefox. There is nothing that fires upwards for Firefox except for these queens, which means that Masa can continue to trade very, very efficiently against these Lings and Banes, because all he has to do is get in, stim, pick off as much as he can, pick back up and drop back off creep. Exactly what Masa is doing is exactly what he needs to be doing to keep this game active. I love this little Ling run by. Unfortunately for Firefox, Masa has an ill-timed reinforcement troop coming across the third base right now, so those Lings not going to get anything done. Another big stim from Masa and a big scan, allowing to pick off all the active tumors in the middle of the map. Man, Firefox has been working so hard to spread that creep, but Masa has been working twice as hard to sweep it up. Ling's trying to defend the creep. I love this. Masa still focused firing down the creep tumors. That is courage in the face of fire. Picking down creep tumors even when there are Lings on top of your army right now. A huge Ling Bane force in the middle of the map right now, and Masa should be a bit worried. He's only got a few tanks back home. In fact, his tank count at 1. Not making any tanks right now, instead focusing on Liberator production and Widow Mines, staying active with these double drops, keeping them all over the map, which is really nice. But with no splash damage and no real bulk in this army, I'm a bit worried for Masa right now. He is going to see this Ling Bane run by queuing up on the north side. That scan should have revealed where they are. Another little Ling Bane army going down here. Some decent Baneling shots collapsing on top of the Marines. The Marines not focus firing very well here. Masa is going to lose a fair few units, but so is Firefox. This is such a back and forth right now. Ling Bane versus Marine Medevac. Liberators are going to be very valuable as the fight goes on. Attack at the north side pushed away by Firefox. Good pickup, good get out. I will say Masa isn't losing too many units here. I love how efficiently he's playing. At the same time, Firefox has been able to force him back many times over. That means that he is going to be playing from a position of weakness positionally wise. He's going to be playing from a place of weakness positionally. But his army supply, as you can see, still slightly ahead that of Masa. On Firefox. Firefox still stuck on 4 bases. Masa also on 4 bases. Never a good job for the Zerg to be 1 base on the same base count as his opponent. Liberator should unsiege, get out of there before the Spore Crawler is able to establish itself. First Liberator doing some good damage. There is a Ling run by on the bottom side of the map right now. So much going on right now. A great efficient Baneling trade for Firefox. Liberator pushed away 1 kill. Second Liberator is going to go down here. Yeah, Firefox staying on top of this Liberator pressure, which is really nice. Baneling's coming in from the backside, though. Is Masa paying attention? Yes, he is. Leave some Sacrificial Marauders there, forcing those Banelings to trade out 2 or 3 for 1 Marauder, and redropping the Marauders in the front here, but the Baneling count so high from Firefox. Right now, Firefox on 30 Banes with 13 on the way. I'm not a math guy. I think that's 33 more Banes. 43 Banes, of course, on the way for Firefox. Masa redropping behind the third base, going to find himself a really nice little nook and cranny behind this 4th base, and kicks off 3 more drones. The worker count still in favor of Masa, but I'm very worried about what he can do against this many Banes. This is an insane Bane game. This is one of those YouTube posts where they're like, oh my god, so many Banelings on the map at one time. This is crazy. Right now we're at 32 Banes with 12 more on the way. Banes should be exploding here. Sensor tower goes down. That's going to cripple Masa's map presence just a little bit. Masa, meanwhile, moving into third base with the second strike force on the south side, but there's a big attack into his third. Third base under duress here. Banelings being funneled through a narrow choke point with no siege tanks here to focus fire down the Bane. It's going to count. It's going to be up to Masa to make sure that he can get the target firing and the splitting done correctly. I'm not sure that he can. Lings into the natural now, and Firefox overrunning Masa. Masa having a superior army supply, but most of that army supply tied up in these medevacs that are not doing anything right now. Medevacs out of position, not healing any of these units up. Widowmine is going to save the day on that ramp, and the 4th base has gone down behind this for Firefox. Man, what a back and forth game. Unfortunately, Firefox, I think, losing too much in that engagement. 35 SCVs going down. That is no good, but Masa on 80 army supply. Masa needs to move across the map right now and get damage done. He's been forced to pick up and get out. If Firefox can defend, he's way ahead on worker count. Masa rebuilding workers, rebuilding liberators, finishing up his +3/+3. He's going to have a big upgrade advantage, and he's not going to move across the map right now. A bit of a tactical blunder, I think, from Masa, who should be working on getting more damage done. Instead, he's going to try and catch up economically. Interesting play. Very interesting play from Masa. The income back in his favor after dropping some more mules. And the 5th base should be turning into a planetary as soon as he can afford it. Double drop coming around the north side for Masa as these units stick around, waiting for Firefox to try and add in a 5th base. Again, another nice pickup from Masa. Drop on the top side, unloaded. This is going to march right into this third base for Firefox. Firefox's fourth base under construction right now. Hydralisk Den has gone down. Grooved Spine's on the way. Still no Hive tech, so no lurkers anytime soon. But this little Strike Force at +3/+3 should be able to focus fire down this third base if he tries. No, he's going to get surrounded by Lings. Banelings will join the party, and that will force a pickup, but also pressure on the fourth base now as well. Banelings again crashing forward, but they're going to... No pickups from Masa. Firefox defending both of his bases, and that's a good start, but he's just too far behind right now. We can see the SCV count still a little behind, but Masa way ahead in our economy, as he does have that planetary at his 5th finish, and 3 other orbital commands finished up. A lot of long-distance mining happening for Firefox. That 4th is established. The 4th at about half health right now, which means it's a juicy target when Masa comes across the map a little bit later. Banelings, Hydras, and Lings pushing across. Action on all sides of the map right now as Masa tries to drop yet again into this third base. The third base doesn't have a lot of damage done to it, and of course the Lings and Banes are in position to try and defend at the fourth base. A much juicier target. Liberators, so many medevacs for Masa. Finally getting that fusion core. Finally going up to Liberator range very soon. More Liberators are going to be so valuable. I love the Widow Mines from Masa as well. He's going to scan, going to see all these Banelings. He's going to try and draw these Banelings back into the Widow Mine fire. He's going to sack a couple Marines. This is intentional from Masa to try and get the Widow Mines to fire. He can't retarget the friendly fire on the Widow Mines. Even worse than the regular fire, and the Hydralisks will push this away. A terrible attack from Masa there. Great defense from Firefox. Overseer not present, though, and these Widow Mines going to reload soon. If Firefox stays outside that creep, he could be in danger. No, it's not going to happen. A good trade there for Firefox, staying alive at what looked like it could have been a really rough engagement. Liberators trying to get Masa some army positioning advantage here. Again, Widow Mine's not getting the shots they need, really being more harm than help here. The Overseer does get taken down, though, and the Widow Mine shots on the north side. Going to be very valuable. I love the splitting from Firefox. Is it enough? Yes, it is enough. Very nicely done. Forcing those Widow Mines to trade 1 for 1 for 1 right now. No splash damage can be found from those Widow Mines. We see 2 more Overseers on the make for Firefox. Doesn't want to get tagged by these Widow Mines again. Masa still not putting pressure on this third base. The fourth base stands, but of course behind this Masa on 5 bases. Masa even on workers. Masa way ahead in economy, and more sustainably so as well. Still no 3-3 from Firefox. I was going to say a bit of an oversight, but I think he's working so hard on getting these upgrades that he's not going to be able, or working so hard on pushing out army supply that he's not going to be able to get these upgrades. Concussive Shell is finished up. That's going to slow down a lot of these units. Concussive Shell, of course, has a knock-on effect for Zerg players. If you have Concussive Shell, then your Zerglings in the front are slowed down, which means your Banelings behind them are also slowed down as they try to path around them. So Concussive Shell can be a really valuable investment in slowing down the entire Zerg army, not just the units that you nail with Concussive Shell. Very long game here in game number 2 as we pass the 17-minute mark. Still just Ling, Bane, Hydra out of Firefox, and Masa trying to transition into Liberator. But it's going to be a slow transition right now. His Liberator count's still a little bit low, only on 5. His Medevac count's still on 9. Man, these drops being consistent, being harassing. Really nice work from Masa to stay focused and keep Firefox back home as much as he can. Firefox trying to grab a 5th base, but this Liberator will spot it right away, and that should be the next juicy target for Masa. Oh, man. Masa gets in, snipes. Pardon me, snipes that 4th base yet again. Firefox bleeding out on bases right now. We can see 64 SCVs out for Masa to the 41 workers of Firefox. And Firefox had a chance of coming back there. Got some good Widow Mine trades, or got some good Baneling trades with the Widow Mines, but not quite what he needs to really come back in this game. And this army is going to destroy the entire army at the Xel'Naga Watchtower. Firefox sees that bottom base. and should be moving in shortly. His own 4th base is going to finish up. This is actually his 5th base, but it's only his 4th one remaining on the map. But unbelievable. A Marauder and 3 Marines might be enough to clean this up. I don't believe it. Meanwhile, Scuffle in the middle of the map. That's why Firefox can't commit to saving that base right now. There's a huge Terran army on the high ground here. The last base is going to go down just as the armies engage on the other side of the map here. Massive Liberator zones going down. Hydra's getting under the Libs here, but the Libs going to get some big shots off now. There are so many Liberators here. I think the Hydra number is not quite enough, and that's it. GG. Massa is going to grab the